Here to bring us the topic of GameFi's ultimate value, Vice President and Head of Global Sales in Digital Entertainment Assets, Tatsuya Kohrogi, affectionately known as Tats. Warm welcome, please.
Thank you. All right, I love that video. All right, I'm super excited to be here at the very first Play2Earn Expo in Bangkok and on the Metaverse. And today, my keynote topic will be about GameFi's ultimate value. So after my talk today, I hope you guys get a better understanding of what that is and also how PlayMining is empowering creators and communities in the entertainment and Web3. Quick intro about myself. So my name is Tatsuya Kohrogi, and I go by the nickname Tots. And I'm currently the Vice President and Head of Global Business at DEA, the operators of PlayMining. And my social handle is @Tatsuya_Kohrogi. Please tweet me and roast me or praise me. I would love to keep today's discussion open. Let's keep the conversation going. And prior to working at DEA, I was working at Meta and SoftBank. And to give you a sense of what kind of person I am, sometimes I think about what legacy do I want to leave before I die? Is that weird? I mean, has anyone ever, like from show of hands, how many people have thought about legacy before they die in this room? Roughly, I'd say like 60%. Okay, that's good. Good to know I'm not a weirdo. But yeah, so for legacy, I've always thought, what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? And it's always been something around in the creative field or empowering creators. So I don't want to generalize, but something about Asian parents, right? I know I'm not the only one who's heard this before, but to give you some more sense of what kind of person I am, Mom, you can't put food on the table with art. Me, challenge accepted. And I love a good challenge. Fast forward many years down the line, and this challenge has led me to become a Web3 degen, kind of. And then 2020, when I moved to Singapore from working at Meta, I met the founder of DEA, Goro. And Goro, our founder, is a serial entrepreneur who has IPO'd 3 companies in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. And notably, fun fact, his brother is the co-founder of Game Freak and original creator of the legendary Pokemon Mew. And Goro aspires to create a game that will surpass his brothers. Also, our co-founder, Kozo, is our co-CEO, and he has been a TV producer for over 15 years at TV Tokyo. And recently, he's been known as an NFT game expert in Japan. And Kozo aspires to create a new form of entertainment with the Web3 technology. And both Goro and Kozo come from the entertainment industry and have a deep passion for supporting creators as well. And this picture is where our company's roots come from. So our company is rooted by the gentleman in the back, in the middle back. His name is Mr. Ide, ex-chairman and group CEO of Sony Corporation. Mr. Ide has encouraged many Japanese entrepreneurs to go out of Japan and to become a global entrepreneur. And in 2016, Mr. Ide went around telling many entrepreneurs in Japan to study blockchain. Blockchain will be the future. And the only entrepreneur to follow Mr. Ide's advice was our founder, Goro. And in 2018, Goro started DEA in Singapore, and the PlayMining platform was released in 2020. So what is the PlayMining platform? Over the past 2 years, PlayMining has become an IP monetization platform that empowers creators. PlayMining consists of 4 multiple entertainment mediums, such as the NFT games and the Metaverse. And each medium branches out by producing multiple games. So we're not just a single GameFi platform. We're a platform that has multiple games, and we also have multiple NFT land sales and multiple metaverses. And to give you some context of where we've been these past 2 years, so this is our traction highlights. Our Deep Coin is the only play-to-earn token in Japan that has approval by the FSA. And for our NFT marketplace, we just finished off our year last month in July, and we closed off our revenue at 75 million Sing dollars, with NFT sales going over 50 million. And for our NFT games, we have multiple games coming out in the upcoming months. And for our Metaverse project, we recently launched it in April, and we have some good traction going on. And the PlayMining platform, over the past 2 years, we have collaborated with over 100 famous IP creators, and in total, the creators have earned more than 9 million Sing dollars in royalties from PlayMining. So why do we do this? As PlayMining evolved into this IP monetization platform, we see that the creative IP industry has a big problem. For example, in the anime industry right now, it's worth almost 30 billion, but artists are earning barely enough to survive. This is a real issue. And some of the stakeholders in the value chain are getting all the value, but the IP creation and the creators are not getting any of it. And the problem mirrors across most creative industries. For example, globally, manga, webtoons, fiction, and even art creation. And in Andreessen Horowitz' report of Takes a Crypto, I think we've all seen this before as well, but our current Web2 platforms the take rate is very high. And we calculated what is the total addressable market for this global creative IP market. And the total addressable market is around 530 billion USD. And this is the industry we're trying to tackle with entertainment and Web3. And this number is the calculations of all the movies, games, webtoons, anime, and manga industry, and is expected to grow. From IP content as well, even though globally, IP is borderless. I think we've all seen some Netflix shows in another language, but good content triggers the same emotion across all humans. So what are we trying to do at PlayMining? We're trying to aim to disrupt the current centralization of production houses and distributors by decentralizing IP ownership, monetization, and returning economics to the IP creators and the community. And our mission is we're an entertainment times Web3 company. So we want to deliver new entertainment value to the world that no one has ever experienced before using the power of Web3. And here's our 3 business values that we operate under. We pursue new entertainment experiences. 2, empower the value of creators. And 3, create social impact for the world while doing it. And our Metaverse business is called PlayMiningverse, and it's just one example of where we are pursuing new entertainment experiences.
The first PlayMining verse, Fujiwara Kamui verse, Antiqua Reincarnation.
この頭の中だけにあるすごい世界があるんです。それを皆さんと一緒に作り上げていきましょう。
There is an amazing world that exists only in my head. Let's unfold and develop this world together. PlayMiningverse. It's a place where a new world is born. Acquire the land of this sensational world, and together we can shape and build a never-before-seen Kamuiverse.
Thank you. So this is one of our business, the Metaverse business, and he's the first creator to create the NFT land for our first Metaverse business. And Fujiwara Kamui is the creator of Dragon Quest, and he has a lot of fans right now buying the NFT lands and co-creating a world together. So what does this look like from a business model perspective? We believe that the IP creators can tokenize their IP through play mining. And then the creators can interact with the community and the fans who own the NFT land through our play mining verse. And then these original IPs can then be monetized on our game platform or our manga platform or the Metaverse platform and can be scaled out even into a movie or anime, depending on what the community wants to do. And then the value of this IP accrues into our Deep Coin and directly rewards creators and the community who are involved. So the early supporters of creators can get the benefit of all the IP creators or creations that get created from this platform. And here's an example already of the Fujiwara Kamui verse and the comic series done by the PlayMining verse. So we released in April and have 3 acts of comics already released. This is just the title of the first act, and this is the second act as well. You can check it out by going kamuriverse.com, and we have an English, Chinese, and Japanese comic series already released for this metaverse. And what's interesting about this project is that the fans and the creators are co-creating the story together. So before each act, they host an event and vote which characters is the most fan favorite among the community. And whoever wins that event changes the outcome for the next act. So we see this as a new experience for the fans and creators of entertainment. So that was a quick intro about PlayMining and what we do. And I kind of want to go into this ultimate value concept that we think at PlayMining and what the future of GameFi is going to look like. We believe the ultimate value of GameFi is going to be the ability for people to enable other people through games. The video game industry has seen many growth driven by the layering of the new platforms and new business models coming out. And we see that Web3 already and GameFi is going to be a big part of this. So let me talk about this concept that our co-CEO Kozo talked about. Going back in history, looking at the pre-internet times, pre-internet games were not connected to the internet, so you played by yourself in a virtual world. And you mainly got the entertainment experience from the self-satisfaction. And then comes the internet, and the Web 2 game comes, where virtually, you're not just playing by yourself anymore, you're playing with your friends. Because you're playing with your friends, there's gonna be a ranking system, and the desire for recognition of being good at that game becomes the entertainment aspect of the game. And then came the scholarship model by Axie Infinity last year. And this revolutionized Play2Earn, where the owners of NFTs can lend their NFTs to a scholar, and these scholars can play games and make a living or earning and receive a portion of those earnings. Quickly after PlayMining, we have followed with our most popular game, Job Tribes, with the scholarship model as well. But how did this change the whole ecosystem? So from the desire for recognition and the virtual and reality aspect, GameFi bridged virtual and reality. So in the pre-internet to the Web 2 game, now in the Web 3 game, what we see is from the desire of recognition to a desire to enable others. The desire to enable others. What does that mean? We can lend our NFTs now to community members that we want to support. And these members can play to earn and enrich their lives through these GameFi aspects. I would like to share a story of one of our scholars in Vietnam.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người, mình là Biên, hiện tại đang sống và làm việc tại thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Mình đang làm cho quản lý cho một nhà hàng Nhật có tên là Phim tại quận 1 thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Trước Corona thì cuộc sống của mình khá là ổn định, thì mình sống ở gần cái chỗ khu mình là làm việc, thì tiền thuê nhà thì nó cũng đắt nhưng mà thu nhập nó cũng ổn cho nên không sao. Từ khi Corona đến thì cuộc sống của mình nó khó khăn hơn, cho nên là mình chuyển vào phía trong này để cho cái chi phí sinh hoạt cũng như là cái tiền thuê nhà nó sẽ giảm xuống. Thì sau khi mà mình biết tới game này thì mỗi ngày thì khoảng 15 đến 20 phút thì mình hoàn thành tất cả các cái nhiệm vụ trong game. Thì mình chơi như vậy thì một tháng thì thu nhập của mình tăng lên khoảng 20%. Thì cái thu nhập thêm đấy thì mình có thể mua những cái gì mình thích, hay là đi du lịch ở đâu đó, hay là có thể là gửi tiền về bố mẹ, thì là mình đã làm được sau khi là mình chơi cái game NFT này. Lần đầu tiên mình biết qua được một anh chủ người Nhật của mình giới thiệu. Mình muốn cái game này là được mọi người trên toàn thế giới có thể là biết đến và có thể tăng thu nhập và thực hiện những cái mong muốn như mình.
Thank you. And so that's just one example of our 2.4 million users across Southeast Asia. And so right now, currently, there's about 2 to 3 billion users of gamers. But we believe our PlayMining platforms are enabling the other 6 billion users across the world. 20 minutes a day, 20% of Vin's monthly income increased, and that has made a big difference in his daily life. And that's just one example. Every day, we're getting a lot of these stories coming into our Twitter accounts about how we were able to support a family in the Philippines after the typhoon, or this family in Indonesia was able to get medicine for COVID. And these stories are real, and it's already happening. And what we're trying to do at DEA and PlayMining is we want to enable more communities. Some of the insights we're getting is that GameFi and Play2Earn can be a great leverage or a way to support programs, communities, or even a way of charity by lending out NFTs and having these communities play to earn. And here's just some of the examples that we have. On the top left, we have an initiative by one of our guild partners, LGG, who supported a single mother association in Tokyo. And another one on the right, where we directly worked with a nonprofit organization that works with youth that are in trouble. And on the bottom two is another unique case study for enabling communities, where one is in Belgium and another one's in Cambodia. But they're both football clubs. And these football clubs wanted to enable their communities and bring their communities to the stadium and create more energy in their communities. So these football clubs are using our platform and the play-to-earn model to give back to their community. Or for example, the football stadiums are giving free season tickets to the highest earner, or free swag just for the scholars. And these have been a great initiative for these communities. So now we talked about Web3 game, and this is where we're at right now, where we're able to enable others. So what's the 2-3 years from now? What's the 5 years from now? The ultimate Web3 game, what does that look like? Before I do that though, I kind of want to make an announcement and a little PR about our upcoming game. So this is our next game that will be released on August 15th, Cooking Burger. So this is a more interactive game where you cook and serve the orders that come in.
Good job.
And another one. We have another game called Dragon Ramen coming up in September. So that's another game where you go out and fight quests and get rare items to build the best ramen. And lastly, in October, we're planning to release the Graffiti Racer. This is a color and race type game. All right, thank you. That was part of the program. And just wanted to highlight that we are a GameFi platform. We have multiple games, our most popular ones being Job Tribes. But these upcoming games as well is more on the casual side, and each game has a different style to cater to types of games people want to play. Back to the program. So the last ultimate Web3 value, we believe, after the desire to enable others. And desire to enabling others is like leaving a legacy in a way, right? What kind of legacy do you want to leave with what community? The next level, we think, is the desire for Ikigai. Just from a raise of hands, how many people have heard of this Japanese term, Ikigai? It's been pretty popular lately with the business scene. But this is where the virtual and the self and the other and the reality of others and yourself all become encompassing. And what does that mean? So I think if you read the book, you might have seen this before. But Ikigai is the cross-section of where what you love and what the world needs and what you can be paid for and what you're good at intertwines. This is a Japanese concept where about what is the true value of happiness. And in Japan, we use this term Ikigai, meaning purpose in life. If we can get that middle part, Ikigai, bigger, the happier a person will be, the longer they'll live. And this is a Japanese concept. But lately, it's been pretty global. I think around 40% of the members here were able to see it. So I recommend looking up Ikigai as well. But this is something that we believe the next step of Web3 and the ultimate value that GameFi will bring. So in the past, these 4 circles, what you love, what the world needs, what you can get paid for, and what your strength is, there's been barriers. For example, there's been a wall of economic disparity, or it could be a physical constraint from the Web2 world. Currently, there are people now from the Web2 world, like let's say Instagram or the creator economy on YouTube, where they're able to make a living doing what they love. But we believe that these barriers are going to come crumbling down with the power of GameFi and Web3. So what do I mean by these physical constraints? So these can be where you're from, nationality, what language you speak, places of residence, your age, race, gender, appearance, and your health condition. All these things in the real physical world can be a barrier to a lot of people in the world right now. And as I mentioned, in the present, there is a good source of Ikigai right now, but this wall will come down with the ultimate Web3 entertainment. And we believe that Web3 will succeed in linking the virtual economy and the real economy, because we're already seeing that trend happening. And the more this happens and the more the technology develops, we're going to see that middle of Ikigai is going to grow bigger and bigger, and more people are going to be doing what they love. And regarding the physical constraints, we already see some examples of avatars in the Metaverse or Zoom, right? You can have a filter. You don't have to be the real you in the physical world to represent your virtual world. We'll have two identities in the real physical and the virtual. Finally, as a conclusion for this ultimate GameFi, the destination of Web3 is going to be a place where you can connect your energy the most efficiently and maximize the economy to convert it into this Ikigai. And the Metaverse is where we believe many people can jump over this barrier, break through this barrier of a wall of the physical world and the Web2 world, and make a living and make an income doing what they love, helping others, bringing needs to specific communities that they care about. So for us at PlayMining, we aim to create an entertainment experience that breaks through these barriers and empowers creators and spreads more social impact amongst communities that we care about. And for today, I'd like to challenge everyone here, because as we're still here building in this bear market, I think it is our responsibility to build this inclusive Web3 environment and bring in as many people as possible into this environment. And at PlayMining, we're starting to see some of the positive effects that it is having in Southeast Asia. So for the next steps, I'd love to keep expanding out globally and share what this is that we're doing and helping, enabling, and empowering creators. Thank you so much for today. PlayMining.